Hello there, my name is Luciano Oliveira. I am a Brazilian attorney, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 most difficult documents to obtain for the Brazil Digital Nomad Visa application. Why this video? One recurring question we have in our consultations is, how long does it take for me to gather the documents for the application? And for you to be able to answer this question, you need to know what are the most troublesome documents. The 3 most difficult documents to obtain are birth certificate, work contract, and the criminal records. The need for a birth certificate occurs when you don't have your parents' names on your passport, which is, unfortunately, the case for the vast majority of applicants for the Digital Nomad Visa. So, if your parents' names are not on your passport, you must provide the birth certificate. The birth certificate, however, must be presented in a very specific manner. It cannot be just any birth certificate. First, you need to get the apostille. Second, you need to have the sworn translation, and only then you can present this birth certificate to the Brazilian authorities. We have a specific video addressing every single detail about the birth certificate and the procedure required to make it acceptable for a digital nomad visa application. You can see the video over here, and you're also gonna find the link in the description below. The second document we're gonna be talking is the work contract. The work contract is also mandatory in a digital nomad visa application. Although in theory you may own a company and present your documents, in our experience it's not a good idea to try to avoid the work contract. Therefore, even if you are self-employed or if you have your own entity, ideally you're gonna have a work contract between yourself and your company. This is gonna make much easier for the Brazilian immigration to simply check the box on the work contract requirement. Another question we hear all the time is, can I have any company providing me with the sponsorship for the digital nomad visa? And the answer is going to be like this. One of the requirements related to the work contract is going to be the bank statement. You're going to need to show a bank statement to prove that you're being paid as a digital nomad. And guess what? They are going to cross-check if the company name is on the bank statement. So you cannot just use any made-up name on the work contract, of course. It needs to be a real entity, because this real entity is going to be paying you at least $1,500 a month into your bank statement. And if they don't match, if whatever payment you're getting does not match with the company name you have on the work contract, then this is going to be an issue that's going to be addressed by the immigration analyst, and they are going to ask you to explain and providing supporting papers to explain the discrepancy between the names. The third type of document is going to be the criminal records. The criminal records are mandatory, and in addition to the criminal records by itself, you're also going to need to provide a declaration that you don't have criminal records elsewhere. So criminal records is pretty important, and in our experience, at least for the digital nomad visa, they do not need to be from the FBI if you are applying in Brazil. If you are applying, for instance, in the United States through a consulate, the consulates most of the time they are going to enforce the requirement that the records are provided by the FBI nationwide. But if you are applying in Brazil, in our experience, records from the municipality or state level are going to be sufficient for the immigration to approve your application. Additionally, because nowadays it's taking a while for the Brazilian immigration to approve the digital nomad visa application, they are going to ask you for additional records during the application. In other words, you're going to provide the records at the beginning to file the application, and if you are in Brazil, down the road, approximately like 2 months after you file the application, the Brazilian immigration is going to say, well, you've been here in Brazil for a few months now, so you need to provide the criminal records for Brazil as well. In our experience, it's not not very easy for citizens to understand how to get the criminal records, but we can tell you that the criminal records, they must be from the federal level and from the state level of the place where you are staying in Brazil. So if you have questions specific to the birth certificate, to the work contract, or to the criminal records, you should watch our videos that are dedicated specifically to each of those 3 documents. The links for those videos, they are in the description below. Don't forget to download our ebook, The 7 Most Common Mistakes Made by Foreign Citizens When Applying for the Digital Nomad Visa. These are 7 common mistakes, just as the name says, and it would help you avoid mistakes that are being made by other applicants as we speak. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one.